Hey, what's up everybody? This is DJ1. Just wanted to give you guys a preview of what is compatible with TouchPix and what is not. First and foremost, there's a lot of confusion as far as what cameras are compatible. We do have a list of compatible cameras on our website. If you want to visit our website, you'll see the list. Like I indicated earlier, our software is compatible with certain DSLR cameras, either tethered, which means it's wired connection, or the wireless connection. We're getting a lot of questions regarding how do you connect to the camera wireless, right? First and foremost, I want to recommend that if you're new to this, I want you guys to actually test the system with the wire. The reason why I'm saying this is because you may have a different application than what we are gonna be showing in some of the webinars, or you may have a different application than photo booths or 360 booths, and they're all gonna vary in performance. We're finding that the wired solution is probably the best all-around use because it's very secure, the transfer rate is extremely fast, and those are the things that you're looking for when running a successful event. In this specific live, I'm just going to show you how I grabbed an old camera that I had lying around, and I have a lot of these cameras because I have multiple booths from my PC and software, and I'm thinking about now making a switch over to TouchPix with all the other booths that I have, right? Since now it powers DSLR, for me it makes more sense to be more uniform. It creates easier operation on my end. I don't have to train up my staff with the other software. I can just go ahead and operate it with an iPad with TouchPix, and it's a very, very stable connection. And I actually like the features. This camera that I'm about to show, it's an older Canon. It's a Canon T3. It's super old. I don't think you can get them anymore unless they're secondhand. I think now they're in T8s, maybe even T9s. I haven't really kept up, but you know, I've had really good luck with these T3, T3Is, T5s. I just happen to have a lot of these T3s that I've used as backup. So initially I have them as backup units. So they have pretty low shutter counts on them, and they're practically new. So instead of me going out there and buying new cameras, I'm just going to use what I have. So in this case, I wanted to try out TouchPix with this T3 to see if it works and to see if it's compatible with photo booths. Now, be mindful, this is a trial for the photo booth area. I'm not planning on using this Canon T3 for a video slow motion recording. It's just not capable of doing that. This camera came out years back. It's not able to shoot at 120 frames per second. This is something that I'm not interested in using on my slow motion side, but I'm very interested in using for regular photo booth sessions. So the first thing you're going to need if you're going to go this route is try to find a manufacturer that's going to show you or sell you a iPad DSLR booth, right? If you guys were at the expo, we were showcasing a booth by Mo Booth. He sells excellent units, in my opinion, but you can find different manufacturers that will now start making to accommodate this high demand. Once you find a booth, you're going to go with an iPad. In this case, I'm also going to test an older iPad that I had lying around, and this is an iPad from a few years back. It's an iPad 10.5, iPad Pro 10.5. It is able to load the latest iOS and TouchPix, which is a key component. And I'm going to go ahead and try to make the connections. So what are you going to need? What are the list of devices that you're going to need? In the screen, you not only see the camera, but you also see some wires here. This camera here, instead of powering it by battery, right? Most photo boothers buy these dummy batteries that insert into the battery slot, but are powered by AC power into the booth. So that would be the first thing you should look for, unless you want to buy a lot of different replacement batteries. But I don't like to start switching out batteries in the middle of an event. I'm trying to make everything as simple as possible. So that would be your first step. Obviously, you need an SD card. This specific camera, I was a little concerned because I'm going to plug it into an older iPad. The iPad has a lightning port. It doesn't have the new USB port, but it's a lightning port. And you're going to need a dongle. Lightning port to USB 3, and this is a charging pass-through, right? Keeps your iPad charged at all times. This is something that you will need. I'm testing different dongles, but I would recommend you buy the Apple branded one. Those will give you the highest success. I haven't tested any of the Amazon Chinese knockoffs, but feel free to go about your budget and feel free to do whatever it is that is best for your business, but I'm recommending the Apple branded dongle. From that, this camera, you're going to need a wire to connect it tethered, and that wire is going to be the USB cable that plugs into your dongle right in here. This other end of the cable, I would highly recommend to get a data cable. It has this specific filter in place. You can get the most expensive ones made by Tether Tools, but you know, those are a little pricey, and I opted to go with this Amazon branded cable. And this is actually a micro USB, similar to the old Android charging ports. Unfortunately, the camera that I'm using does not have a micro USB input. It has what's called a mini USB input because it's a little older. So what I went ahead and tried is I went on Amazon again and I purchased a mini USB male into a micro USB female, which will accommodate this cable. Stay tuned. I'm going to connect it, and you're going to see how it works, and you're going to see if it works. First of all, I'm going to plug in my battery. Battery goes like so. Close the door. It actually has a little wire slot here, right? Second thing I'm going to do is now grab my dongle, connect the USB cable here, and the other end, what I'm going to do is plug in the adapter, and it looks like it goes in this orientation, snapped into place. Now what I'm going to do is open the side of my camera, and again, this is an old T3. As you can see, it has the old mini USB. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in there, and I'm basically ready to go and test. What I want to do now is I want to set it somewhere safe so I could take some test shots. And what I'm going to do is grab the other end now, which is this, and plug it into the iPad that I'm going to use. So I'm going to place the camera there so you guys can see it a little bit better. Now I'm going over to my old iPad Pro. I'm going to connect it. Bear with me because it's tough to do with one hand. There we go. As you can see, it's connected. I'm going to remove my lens cap off my camera. Now I'm going to go over to TouchPix, the app. From TouchPix, the app, let me adjust the TouchPix, the app. The app is on. Okay, I'm going to go into the menu and I'm going to go straight into camera. Oops. Menu, camera. And I'm going to power on this camera now. You're going to see it power on via the power cable. Right? Now I'm going to hit connect to DSLR. Make sure the live view is on. It says searching for cameras. And it says connecting. It is now connected. What I also want to do is, because I want to print, I want to make sure my printer is connected. So I'm going to go to the menu, go into settings, toggle over to printer, Mine's set to air print, and it's scheduled to print off my DS40, which is plugged in to the side wirelessly. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Hit go back. And now I'm going to take some test shots. And I want you guys to see the capabilities of this with the flash, right? I'm just trying to position my camera somewhere where it's not going to fall on me. I don't want it to hit the ground or anything like that, but let's give that a shot real quick. So I just positioned the camera. I'm going to go ahead and connect or just select photos. You hear the shutter turn on. That's the live view on the camera. It's going to take its first shot. You saw the flash. There's the first shot, and I'm going to go ahead and hit print. It's asking me if I want to print black and white. I'll go ahead and hit print, and you're going to hear the printer go off. And there's the print with the flash. Phenomenal print. So now what you can do, obviously you can share if that's what you want to do. But I want to show you guys this other useful photo booth feature, which is the animated GIFs. I loaded some animated GIFs. I'm going to go ahead and select animated GIF. It's saying 1 of 4. This is going to fire off. I don't have it on manual focus. I actually have it on autofocus because I wanted to test out that feature. As you can see, the autofocus is triggering the lens to focus on whatever it is in its path. It's taking 4 shots. And it's done taking the last shot, and look at what you see now. It's processing the media, and there is your GIF of all 4 shots. You can see the stutter a little bit. And now you can't print the GIF, but this is what you can share via social media. So I'm very happy that the Canon T3 works, because I have numerous cameras that are the same model. I used to keep everything really consistent because I didn't like to purchase different batteries or different power cables in the event that I needed to switch a camera off of one of my booths. So I'm happy that this works for photo booth purposes. It does not work for video, okay? This is an older camera. I tried the video function and it doesn't work. It doesn't mean that TouchPix doesn't work with the video functions, because obviously it does with the new slow motion, and but that requires a newer camera. So I'm curious to see, and I'm going to continue testing some of my other cameras that I have here in my fleet. You know, I do have a few now I have a couple of M50s. I do have a Sony 6500 or 6500, I'm sorry, that I've yet to test. Waiting to get that camera back. I lent it out. It's a good friend of mine. And I just wanted to make this video just so you can see how you can now run the photo booth with TouchPix, which makes it an even better value. Again, this is the other booth that I have. This is a Mo booth, the one that we use at the expo. And that is the M50 with the actual flash on top. I was just testing out how that booth works. As you can see, this is one of the M50s. And that's how it triggers. I'm gonna look for a better solution for the flash scenario. I like to use umbrella strobes, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick sample and a quick update of how that works. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. It's phenomenal that it works on older iPads. It processes the picture just as quick. I highly recommend this workflow. It's going to change my game in the sense of replacing a lot of my older equipment. I'm tired of dealing with Windows updates. I'm tired of dealing with Surface Pro-like issues. So I'm going to see if I can get creative and try to modify some of my booths so I can now incorporate either iPad Pro 11s or 10.5s, whatever I can find that are useful and that are going to look clean in my setup. So again, this is DJ1. Thank you guys. I hope this video was useful. Just wanted to give you a sneak peek on what I'm up to on a Friday afternoon. And again, any questions, feel free to join us. We have free webinars every Wednesday. You know, we drop a lot of new material in those webinars, and we try to just kind of inform the users of all our new features that we're testing or we're releasing. You know, we try to give you the same type of style of examples. That way you can see for yourself how it works, how it's connected, and you can make a better connection. Other than that, I appreciate everybody that's on board with TouchPix. We hope you guys have a great weekend and are successful in you know, your 360 photo booth ventures. And again, just reach out when you need to. Peace.